this is Diane, and I wanted to take a minute to show you how to set up your own Google form, which will populate your own Google spreadsheet where you can keep track of the data that you collect, and you can also send the form to other people so that they can put in their data and you can keep it all in one central location. First of all, in order to set up a Google form or a Google spreadsheet, you need to have Google Docs, which if you have a Gmail account, it comes with your Gmail account. But if you don't have a Gmail account, or if you choose not to set one up, you can actually set up what's called a Google account that can be linked to any email address. It doesn't have to be a Gmail address. For now, I'm going to show you how to do this from within your Gmail account. So I'm logged into my Gmail and I click up here on Documents. You'll see that I've got lots of different documents. I'm going to go to New, Form. Now, one of the fun things about forms is a fairly new feature, and that's, as of the summer of 2009, it's fairly new. That's this theme choice. So if you wanted to pick something that goes along with, like sunbeams, for example, that goes along well with our shadow tracking thing. So I'm going to choose sunbeams, and then this is going to be our global, can't type today, shadow tracking. We'll just call it Global Shadow Tracking. We are using this form to enter data from all over the world after we measure our shadows at agreed upon times each month, or whatever you want to say. Now, the other really neat thing about the Google form is that they have many different types of questions. So you can choose text, paragraph text, multiple choice checkboxes, choose from a list, or scale, and you set the scale like on a scale of 1 to 5 or whatever number you want. You can make it 0 or 1 for your starting scale and whatever you want here, and then you get to label the ends of the scale. For the first one, let's just put your school's name. Now you can do this however you want, you can customize it. If you and say 3 other schools have already agreed to use this one form for entering your data, you might actually want to change this to choose from a list. And you may want to enter the names of the schools in here. So we'll say Wilson Elementary, Waikaria Primary School, Nairobi Central, whatever you want to put there. And you definitely want to make most of your questions required questions by checking the box. Okay? When you go to another question, you always start out with 2 sample questions. When you go to another question, you just click on the pencil to edit it. And so you can put in as many questions as you want by just hitting Add Item. You can also add a section header, which is, I think, fairly new. That's handy. But play around with this, and then when you're done with the whole thing, you can save it. And what you're going to find is that you get a new spreadsheet. Oh, one other thing is, you may want to edit the confirmation under More Actions, because this will be where you can have whatever written in here that you want. You can tell people that their data has been entered. You can give them whatever message you want, and if you want, you can check this box and people will get a link to be able to go to your information. That's pretty much all the major features of this, and what's going to happen, and I'm going to show you in the next clip, is that you get your own new spreadsheet made from this. So I'm going to end this little portion, and then I'm going to start a new one, and you're going to see what this looks like when it's all done. Much like a television chef, I've gone ahead and made the form, and now I'm coming back with the form already made. So there's actually a few questions here with some different formats for questions. And I've saved them, and I've also edited the confirmation message that happens at the end, and I'm allowing everyone to see the response summary. That kind of makes it public, though, so you may want to decide if you really want to do that. You might just want to share it with people who are involved in the project. So once you've made the form, you could email it if you want, and then someone's going to get an email that tells them how to get to the form. You could include the form in the email by having this box checked, but I prefer to uncheck it simply because I like people to go to the live form on the web. Sometimes an email with a form embedded doesn't work as well. Now, I'm not going to send it to anybody at this time, but normally you would fill that in and hit send. If I want to see the responses, I can look at a summary or a spreadsheet. Here's the thing though, I haven't actually filled in the form yet. So, down here it says you can view the published form here. Think I will. Now remember, we chose our nice theme for it, which is quite fitting. I'm from Milpitas Christian School, so I'm going to leave that. Let's say we measured them today, and I'm using the month, day, year format. And let's say that we recorded our data at 10:03 a.m. And let's say that, I don't know what the right answer would be, but the shadows were shorter than the child's height, narrower than the child, slightly to the left of the child. And maybe if I wanted to, include any other information. Because I chose checkboxes, I can do multiple. So I'm going to submit it just so that we have an example. Now, if I want to see the previous responses, I can go here. If I want to learn how to create my own form, I can go there. So let's go ahead and do that so that you can see what it looks like. Okay, this is a summary, which is based on my whole one answer. If I'm in my form and I want to go to the spreadsheet, this is what the spreadsheet's going to look like. And it's going to timestamp when things were entered. So that'll help you to know if there's an error here in the date and they're saying that they measured the shadows on the 5th of July and you're looking at it entered in on the 2nd of July, maybe they just typed something wrong and you can contact the person. But this is handy because it gives you all the information you need. Once more people enter data in there, you could even show a summary if you want and see what the most common responses were. This is actually handier with other types of usage of Google Forms. But I just wanted to show you that that's a possibility, and this would be a great way to keep your information. You can also then later sort this by any one of the items. So if you wanted to sort it by date, not by the date it was entered, but by the date that the measurements were taken, you could. If you want to sort it by response or if you want to sort it by school, you could do that. You don't have to include these particular questions or types of information. You can customize it to be whatever you want. So I just thought I'd share that with you as a useful tool. And then you can embed that if you want by going to embed form. You can embed that into a web page if you are able to embed HTML formatted stuff. And or if you're using a Google site or something like that, there's a very straightforward way of embedding that into yours. So hopefully that's helpful for you. Good luck, and I hope that you enjoy global shadow tracking.